Wonder who's coming in tonight. You never know. Well, let's see. Let's see who's going to come on tonight. How am I today, Gerald? I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. Rainy day. Well, there's an El Nino weather pattern across the globe. It's the I believe it's the higher temperatures at the surface level of the eastern Pacific Ocean that are causing it to be warmer than usual in the northern United States and rainier than usual in the southern part of the United States, which includes, I heard that Los Angeles, which is usually a Mediterranean climate, that LA and San Diego actually got humid. And people said it felt like it was in Florida. They're not used to it. Unless I guess they've been to other places and they're like, wow, I didn't know it could get this humid there. Usually it doesn't. But also in the southern United States and Texas all the way to the Carolinas, it's been raining a lot this summer. Just like last summer, we had El Nino. And I heard that next summer is going to be rainy also. But we'll see. It's a super El Nino. It's supposed to be the biggest El Nino. Eastern Pacific Ocean is very, very hot. I don't know. We'll see. There's all kinds of things going on. You might be living in Bismarck, North Dakota somewhere. Is that North Dakota or South Dakota? I'm not sure. But you might be living in Bismarck in one of those Dakotas and not watch television very much or not really be into these smartphones or whatever they're called. And you might not know what's going on in the world very much. But there's a lot of things that are going on, unfortunately, over near in the Middle East, in that Strait of Hormuz, in between Iran and Saudi Arabia and some other very wealthy countries. In Kuwait, there's a lot of things going on over there that are affecting, well, the daily lives of anyone, definitely anyone if you are upper middle income or below. It's affecting your life somehow, even if you don't realize it. Price of diesel fuel, price of gasoline, unleaded gasoline. We have a shortage of, a shortage of 18-wheeler truck drivers and CDL licenses in general, any kind of truck driver. There's a shortage of qualified truck drivers. So sometimes, depending on what city you live in or what state you live in, you might not have, along with this inflation, which is the food prices have gone through the roof, you might notice that things are off the shelves that you get all the time. Like, for example, if you're a cheap bastard and you want to, yes, I do have blue eyes, yes. They're blue with a little bit of what's called this purple stuff on the outside. It's like a purple ring around that with the blue in the middle, yes. They're pretty much identical to my mother's mother. I look just like her. I could have been her kid, people thought. So I noticed that when you go to the store, there's a lot of things not on the shelves. Like, I buy generic everything. I'm just like that. And I've been doing, it doesn't matter how much money I have. And it's all gone. Sometimes I saw a guy going and buying all of the 2-liter generic sodas that owns a restaurant. Now that people do that. They go in there and I'll be like, what are you doing? And the manager of the store is not paying attention, then all of the diet 2-liter generic sodas are gone. And I love soda pop, I really do. Yeah, it's all gone. Oh well. It's a little bit hot in here. One moment. Let's take a look at Mr. Thermometer over here. Maybe it's a female thermometer. I don't know. What do you think? Does it look like a female or a male? Okay, let's turn that down to 73. It's like raining and humid. Raining and humid. Thank you very much for wishing me a perfect stream. Perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, really. Oh, Little Miss Jax 428. Hi, how are you doing? Kurt Russell's little brother, Reber's at OTY333 said hi. You look like Ray Liotta. Really? Miss that guy. He was a really good actor. Oh, you live next to the equator? Where are you? Down in Belize or Costa Rica? Or wait a minute. The equator? That's down in the Guyanas and Brazil. Where are you? You in Peru? Ecuador? Where are you? Lisa Kerr. Oh, so you're aware of the relocation. It's doing okay. There's a lot of planning and organizing and things like that. I've done this before. I've relocated across country. I've done this before. I was surprised to find out that the Kansas City metropolitan area, which is like 2 Kansas cities and the suburbs, all of it together, the entire metropolitan area with all suburbs included, has approximately, check this out, this is the best part about it, it has approximately 600,000 less people than the Charlotte, North Carolina metropolitan area. That's 600,000 less human beings that I have to deal with. So I was happy to hear all about that. It's wonderful. I've been working with people all my life, salesmen, restaurant business, hotel business, direct sales, what else? Even retail sales and retail management. And I've been doing that kind of work, and I'm particularly good at it. I'm good at dealing with in direct sales, selling products, ideas, things like that. But another thing I'm good at, and I kind of learned this, is I'm good with the general public. But when I was in retail, the general public was a little bit different. A lot of people don't like dealing with the general public. That's why they don't like retail, or they don't work in restaurants. I'd rather work in a warehouse or factory or an office doing administrative work, or work in finance, be a bank or do something like that, work with numbers, fix cars, do things like that. I actually enjoyed working with the public. Yeah, I did. I really did when I was working in retail a long time ago. The general public is different now. Not all of them, but there's a nice chunk of this country that, I can just be a customer in a store, right? You know what I'm talking about? If you're a customer in a store and you're a relatively social person, I don't know if any of you people are social. Some people are just not really social. I'm a very social person. I don't know if there's anything about these zodiac signs, but I don't seem like a Cancerian. I don't know. I'm a little bit too social for that. I'm moody. But I used to go to bars and taverns and nightclubs and mingle and all that kind of stuff. I was just a very much a social butterfly, and I dealt with whoever came into the store, the retail stores I worked in. Um, in my early 20s and things like that. And I noticed that when I walk into like a department store, a grocery store, or anywhere else, even a Circle K, I noticed that a lot of the cashiers and the customer service employees and a lot of the people stocking shelves and everything that work in the store really don't seem to have enough help. It's like they're doing their job and a half of a job, and they're being asked to do a lot. And they look stressed. And also, a lot of the customers are very rude to the employees of many stores I go into. It didn't matter if I was in California. It didn't matter if I'm in North Carolina. I'm just thinking to myself, how could you be so rude to somebody who's just sitting there stocking shelves? If you need to know where the mayonnaise is, why don't you just ask them nicely or something? But they're kind of fussy, and then that kind of spreads to the employee. And the employees, it depends on what store you go to. I don't know if you've experienced this. Okay. You can go away. You're gonna go. You're not a nice person. Goodbye. Well, it looks like I don't. No, I was not. I do not have any. I can see that there's something else going on. I will bring it up when more people come in here. But I just noticed that a lot of people. I have 19 years of sobriety. I don't know what you're talking about, and I never used meth in my life, ever. I've never used it. So you can leave too. Yeah, it is hot down in Texas. I used to live in Texas. I'm going to get some of these messages and find out who's tearing up my. He has one mod that I know of. I have a mod. One of my mods is Atakula 1. The other one is Jerry, and the other one is Daniel Holman. And I don't know where Daniel Holman is. I haven't seen him around in a while. Yeah, I know I do have mods, but they're just not here. I'm not telling anybody when I'm relocating. I'm just, thank you, Jesse Bird. Jesus Christ loves you too. My hairline, I have a full head of hair. I look drained and perplexed. Well, I'm tired. I woke up really early this morning. What's that? Okay, I think you're a cool dude too. I really don't care. No, I've never been to Russia. I don't care to go. Anyway, I guess I don't know how old you are if you're watching this, but when I was a really young guy, an employee could get fired for anything. You could get fired for no reason. There were no laws really, not really in many states protecting employees and stuff like that. But I did notice that a lot of the employees in a lot of retail stores, grocery stores, department stores, anywhere, I don't care if it's Big Lots or any of these stores, dollar stores and stuff, especially these little dollar stores like Dollar General and Dollar Tree, are a lot of the customers that come in are very rude to them. And that's not good. That's kind of sad. Not everyone's like that. Most people are still not like that, but many people are. Many people are, and there's a lot of evil in the world. A lot of people, evil is really showing its fangs now. It really is. Some people think that it's okay to laugh at other people, or they don't have any shame whatsoever. That is, I think it's going away. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on where you are. It became very in vogue to be an asshole and a dick. Somewhere around 2016, I noticed it. Because I remember the United States of America before 2016, the entire time I was alive, and it was not like that. It was not socially acceptable to be the level of rudeness that people are to store employees, like in the last 10 years, especially the last 5 years. It's been really bad. You couldn't treat an employee like that. Other customers would say something. They would be like, "What's the matter with you, dude? Why are you talking to that lady like that?" They would say something. I don't know what's going on. I guess I'll say the best America is 80s and 90s. Well, I think the best America was when I was a little kid in the 70s, but I guess 80s and 90s seem more like the 70s compared to whatever's going on now. I don't think that, and then you turn on cable television, they badmouth California. And to be honest with you, I don't know. If you go to like the suburbs of Los Angeles, like Pasadena or Glendale or someplace like that, the customers are not like rude at the level that they are in Charlotte, North Carolina. In Charlotte, North Carolina, I would not want to be a cashier at a grocery store. Man, they get mistreated. No wonder they can't keep them, Well, I don't want to talk about that negative subject for long, but it is something I wanted to pick up. Please be kind. Rewind your brain. If you don't have something nice to say, well, maybe you should stay home and yell at the wall. Who are you and what is this podcast? It's not a podcast, Stephanie Love, 44769. This is at Hollywoodland21. And I was so busy today, I did not even have time to plan about what I was going to talk about today. At Hollywoodland21, this is a non-monetized channel. It will be monetized when I get to somewhere between 5,000 and 7,500 subscribers. I have 2,100 and some change subscribers right now. I'm gaining subscribers at a fast clip. When I greenlight the show and I decide to monetize this channel, I will get paid by YouTube, and I will also put my Venmo, my PayPal, and my Cash App information up there at that time. But right now, I don't need any money or anything. I don't need any money for you guys. I just want people to subscribe to at Hollywoodland21. That's at Hollywoodland21. Thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Right now, I do not. The end is near. Yes, Phil Collins, 420. The end. I don't even blame people. Me. I sometimes we talk about clean and sober stuff, like things about that you might hear in an AA meeting or a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, because I used to have a substance abuse problem, but I've been clean for almost 19 years now. 19 years is a long time. But I did it one day at a time. I don't need any attaboys from anyone. I'm not supposed to put chemicals in my body anyway. It's not what it's intended to. Probably just water and food, right? We talk about that sometimes. We talk about a lot of things. I guess if you detect a little bit of stress on me, it's because I got a lot of things to do. If I'm relocating, there's a lot of things to do, isn't there? Look how white I am. I'm definitely Northern European, can't you tell? Ethnicity. German and English, yes. I think I might have a 64th of Greek in me. I'm not sure. I wonder where this dark hair came from. Oh, yeah, that's right. I bought L'Oreal. And L'Oreal, to get a little bit of gray off each side, I bought L'Oreal medium brown, and it came out dark brown. It made my hair too dark. And I'm all mad about it. And I have to wait. I think I have to wait until, let's take a look at the calendar before I can fix this fucking mess. The 11th, that's 1 to the 7. 8, 9, 10. I have to wait 10 more days. I have to wait 10 more days before I can get my hair cut, like about a ½ inch cut off my hair all over. Maybe an inch, I don't know. We'll see. And when I get it cut, I'll put some light brown in it and it'll come out light brown. I'm going to get it. I'm not getting L'Oreal this time. I'm going to get a, what should I get? You tell me. Tell me, come on. Hurry up. Oh, I won't. Did you hear about that stuff? Is bad for your scalp. I heard that. Because it's just a little bit of gray, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get it professionally done. I know, but there's no Italian in it. I know I'm not the mailman's kid. Boston Bill, 69. I've been clean, 15 years off heroin. I do a little bit everything on my channel. That's cool. That's cool. That's a different kind of drug. I was never on that stuff, but I was mostly coke and weed and alcohol. Mostly coke, of course. Because it levels you out when you're bipolar like me. It makes you kind of slow down a little bit. Anyway. D full globe brand. Soon. Cable dog. Yeah, that's right. Off and on. Stick with Venmo. YouTube takes 30%. There's something called StreamYards I have to get to. Is that still a thing? StreamYards? I'm learning about all this stuff slowly. Venmo, and then I have a Cash App already. I give people money on Cash App whenever they need a little extra money for gasoline or food or something like that. I do have empathy. Ian's Gian. Hi, sir. How are you doing? No, salesman, direct sales. Most of my life. People don't have sympathy to each other anymore. They don't have empathy or sympathy. Not everyone's like that, but you know what it is? It just feels like 1 out of every 4 people is like a person I don't want to know in this country. I'm being honest with you. 1 out of every 4 adult Americans, I don't want to know you. You don't act right. You can't get right. Something wrong with you. Stay away from me. I'll make you stay away from me. Understand? About 1 in 4 people. That's pretty bad. And I don't think I'm the only person that has that opinion. When you have like about 20 to 25% of the adult Americans acting like assholes and jerks and stuff in your country and being mean and nasty and rude and think that everybody owes them something and blah, 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 or they're criminals or they're out of their minds and criminally insane or something like that, then it's so shocking that one may think that everyone's like that, but that's not the case. Most people would give you the shirt off their back. They're nice people. It's just that there's so many more people in the last 15 years that are acting so out of line that it just seems overwhelming. It's just very, very overwhelming to me that people are so mean and nasty and lie. I think they're getting over on someone. Yes, we are all just bored on a Saturday. We are very bored. So how are we going to fix it? Or should we not fix it? Should we let these people that are mean and nasty and they just fuck with other people, gatekeep, gaslight, and all this other stuff? Should we let them just, I don't know, just die off? Should we be real direct and assertive and aggressive with them and scare them? Should we do that? When we identify who's mean and just get nasty? See, that kind of doesn't solve the problem because then everybody's acting like an asshole, right? The rapscallions. Hi, Jolly. They just get the spotlight as it sells. The majority are still decent people. I believe that. Matty Barrow, 7468. Most people that I meet in my daily walk through life in North Carolina are actually nice people. It's just that 25% of the people that are not nice around here, I'm a reactionary person. I kind of react bad when people are dicks and are like guys that act like little bitch boys, something like that. It makes me want to, and you can't. I mean, this isn't the 80s. You got that many people like pushing the limit. They're not really. Well, there are. You know what? I'm going to tell you something about Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a lot of fraud here. There's a lot of ATM machine crime. There's a lot of fraud. The banks have a lot of rules around here. You got to show a zillion different kinds of ID. If you have a credit union, like I do in another state, and I have to do shared branching because I don't want to stop the credit union in Florida, right? So I have a credit union that's based out of Florida that I got while I was on vacation one time visiting my mother, right? So I decided to use that credit union. I've been using that credit union via shared branching in California and here also. So wherever I go to live, I want to keep my same credit union in Pensacola, Florida, right? A lot of this shared branching makes me use my telephone here, and I have to scan things and put in verification codes and everything if I want to make a deposit or withdrawal from any credit union branch that works with my credit union, which there's 30,000 branches. Well, not 30, there's about 20,000 branches and 10,000 ATM machines that work with my credit union in Pensacola, Florida, right? And they make you jump through hoops to get money out of the bank now. And I don't want to use ATM machines because criminal gangs have put skimmers inside that read your card, and they put them in the gas pumps. They put them in the ATM machines that are outside any Circle K, any 7-Eleven, any of these ATMs. If it's not an ATM that's inside a bank and being watched by the manager, I would recommend that you do not use it because somebody could be reading your card and then all of a sudden money disappears from your bank account. I think that they don't usually take that much before the bank catches it. But then to get your money back, they have to have like an investigative team at Chase Bank or Wells Fargo look into the situation, make sure that you really did get stolen from. And it takes 4 to 6 months to get your $500 back. Now, I know you don't want to deal with that, right? That sucks. That sucks. That's why I go into my financial institute, my shared branching. I actually go in there, get the cash, or put it on a Cash App or something like that, or whatever. And then what are those cards called? A Walgreens? You can get a card called a Serve card, I think it's called. They have one called Serve, one called Visa Vanilla card, different things like that. And I just use those, or I keep it on my Cash App on my phone. And I have a Cash App card and stuff like that. I got to jump through hoops just to make a financial transaction because there's so many thieves in Charlotte, North Carolina. This city is a pig with lipstick on it. It is. It really is. Don't move here. If you were going to move to North Carolina, you know where you should go? I'll tell you a really kick-ass place in North Carolina to go. Go to Wilmington down near the beach. That place is awesome. You got your beach. You got warm water. It's almost like Florida most of the year. The water's really warm. You'll have a great time there. Just don't come to Charlotte. Do not come to Atlanta. What's another city that sucks? New Orleans sucks. Nashville's kind of cool. Some places in Nashville. I got family. I travel around and I see things, you know. I'm your tour guide for the United States. Wilmington is the end of Interstate 40. Yeah, Elizabeth Hoggle. I like Wilmington. I like, what's that place down in South Carolina? It's called, not Charleston. Charleston's nice, but there's a place called, it's near where the Marines train. Paris Island. It's called Bluffton or something. One's called Bluffton and one's called Beaufort. All the way down there. Those are just little places. They're really nice, and it's actually growing. Those counties are growing down here. North Carolina and South Carolina are very rapidly growing states. Like, it seems like half of New York City is moving here. Florida got all filled up, and people keep changing lanes on these motorcycles everywhere, freaking out all the old people that are like, no, we'll just go retire up in the Carolinas somewhere. Or another place that a lot of like people are retiring from, like New York and DC and places like that, or Savannah, Georgia, because they got beaches down there. They got beaches down there that have like white sand, like sugar, with clear water. I didn't even know that. It's really nice. It's like in Florida, if you go on the Gulf side, like on the west coast of Florida, the water's like really clear. You can see right through it. It's like you're on a tropical island or something. Yeah. The same way in Savannah, Georgia. I better not. People are going to get mad if I tell people to move there. We're getting invaded by New Yorkers and people from Maryland and DC and Baltimore and all these places. What is my degree in? Liberal arts. Associate's degree. It's not a bachelor's degree. I just went right into work, made money, made $1 out of 15 cents. That's why you don't have credit cards. You know what? I have credit cards. I don't use them. You know what I use them for? I'll just like buy a pack of socks if I need them, and then just pay it back the same month. Like, you can have like 7, 8. I mean, I think I have like 6 credit cards. Hardly ever use them. I mean, yeah, they can be used. I'll buy some luggage and then pay it back the same month. I think it helps your credit score, I guess. I don't know. Does it? I usually don't buy anything unless I can afford it, you know? I mean, I have to have the money, not just have the money for it, but actually be able to afford whatever I'm going to buy. I see poor people buying brand new cars. I'm like, what the fuck are you buying a brand new car for? You know, a brand new car, like a car costs like $30,000 fucking dollars now. Like $40,000 for a car, $60,000 for a car. I see these young guys like 25 years old working 3 jobs, paying off their car and living with a girlfriend and splitting the rent. I'm like, dude, what the fuck what's with a car, dude? Why don't you save your money and buy a house or something, dude? Get a used car, dude. Was I an actor? No, I was never an actor. He really does look like the actor Kurt Russell. I thought it was him for a minute when I was scrolling through. You know, sometimes I look in the mirror and I say, is my name Randall or is it Kurt? I don't know. No, I'm really not him. I've had people tell me that since I was in my 30s, that I look like Kurt Russell or something like that. He's a really good actor. I enjoy his movies. I'll say that much. He's a particularly good actor. I look interesting. Well, you know what? Maybe you look interesting. I'd like to see you sometime. You ever paid $500? I get a car from Reclamation Yard. What if I want to get a new car? I want to get another car. Yeah, I don't need another car. But I get car from Reclamation Yard. You get cars from Reclamation Yards, 100, 400 sterling. I've never paid more than 500 for a car. Wow. You know what they have in a lot of these smaller towns in the South? There's a lot of poverty in the South. Not really around where I live, but if you go like a couple counties away from here, there's some parts of South Carolina that have abject poverty, like the kind of things you might see in Mississippi or Arkansas, like real poor. But you know what they do? They're land poor. They'll have like a big piece of land. They've got people own 10 acres. They'll have a mobile home on it, and they'll have like 5 cars in the yard, and they have a chain and a hoist, and they just take engines out, rebuild engines, put it back in. They know how to hunt. They know how to rebuild a car from top to bottom. You know where you see a lot of that in? You see that in Mexico. You see cars from like 1975 still on the road and trucks and stuff, dude. 1972 Ford F-150s and stuff in Mexico. You see that in the poorest parts of the South of the United States, and a lot of mobile homes. Yo, I heard, ABBING too. San Diego coastal was hot today, 98 degrees Fahrenheit. I heard that everywhere from Santa Barbara all the way through Los Angeles, Long Beach, and San Diego was not only hot, but it's been particularly humid there. Like humid, like Louisiana, like humid, like you're breathing water. I heard that El Nino weather patterns really doing you guys out there. Keep cool. Thank you, Mr. Carrier. Mr. Carrier invented, at least, I don't know if I guess he invented air conditioning. I don't know if he invented the window shaker air conditioner or central air conditioning, but I think his name was Carrier. Carriers, I believe, still makes air conditioners, don't Doesn't that hurt? Doesn't it? You're taking your glasses off and on like that? No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt me one bit. Hi there. Do you use the CB radio? No, I know how to use a CB radio. I haven't used one in a long time. I used to use a pager, Motorola pager. I've used Motorola products most of my life. I used to have like a roll of quarters. I had a Motorola pager before all these I used to know the payphone numbers at the payphones on Hollywood Boulevard or down the street from my house when I was a kid growing up. And I used to have a Motorola pager and a roll of quarters. And I used to get around, dude. I look like Mel Gibson now. Karen Brooks, 5945. How are you doing, at Karen Brooks? Thank you for coming back in and watching this fledgling channel, which is going to be big one day. It's going to be a channel with 1 million people watching it. Did you know that? It's going to happen. Oh, by the way, just to let you guys know, I need you to hit the subscribe button. My handle is at Hollywoodland21. Type in at Hollywoodland21 and hit the subscribe button. Let's get me up to 10,000 subscribers by September the 1st of this year, 2026. I can believe it's 2026. What? Can I ask you people a question? I'll be on not on YouTube here, but I'll be on another platform. I'll be on TikTok. Oh God, that place is a mess. I'll be on TikTok, right? And you have groups of people and individuals that like to reminisce about the 80s and the 90s. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I listen to a lot of music from the 80s and 90s too. Yeah. I like 90s music especially. But guess what? I got news for everybody. You're not going to believe this. One moment while I get something to drink. You like my ceiling? I bet you do. Tap water. You know, it's never safe to assume anything about anyone. You know what happens when you assume something, right? What happens? Yeah, that's right. Certainly does. These are Welch's singles. I love these things. Tastes like strawberry and peach. I do that really well, don't I? Cool and refreshing. I might put another one in there. put another one in there. Okay. More free tap water. This apartment complex pays for water and trash. I love it. I let them pay for my water. Sometimes renting is the best thing to do. Even when you could buy a house, sometimes the smart thing to do is to rent. It's never smart to move to California right now. Don't ever go there unless you're on some kind of if you're a young person, if you're under the age of 30 and you don't have any children and you're a trust fund baby, go to California. If you're not, I wouldn't recommend it. The feds are out there. Have you heard? It's all over the news too. In Los Angeles County and San Bernardino County right next to it. They're arresting a bunch of people. Yeah, people that have been misappropriating money. Oh, wow. You guys can watch television. You can watch your cable news. You can learn all about it. Kelly Nunez. Hi, how are you doing? Where are you? I see you. Little Miss Jax said, hi, Kelly. Kelly Nunez, 9974. How are you doing? I don't do TikTok. Nostalgia is addictive. Yeah, it is addictive. I don't know what it is. I do chat with people on TikTok because I've been chatting with people on TikTok. I just chat. I had a TikTok channel for a while, and I stopped live streaming on it, I think October of last year. I wasn't there for about 10 months. And then I decided to switch over to YouTube. I discovered live streaming or live streamers or in real life streamers in 2019, watching YouTube actually. Just a bunch of young people acting crazy and stuff on Hollywood Boulevard. They were carrying these gimbals around and they're hanging out in RVs. Yes, I watched Captain Content and I watched Gucci's and I watched One Sonic and Billy John. And some of these people are still streaming. I watch those guys too. I watch Ice Poseidon. I think Ice Poseidon's really cool. I thought he had a really, I like his story too. Like his story. He's all over the world now. He's living his best life. Yeah, I would recommend checking out Ice Poseidon on YouTube. He has a very good speaking voice too. It's deep. It's similar to mine, but his is a little bit deeper than mine is. I think. I'm not sure. You so scary. You think I'm scary? Really? How scary am I? News is just a tool to keep people divided. Well, some of it is. It depends. I like social media. Never feel like you're enough in your parents' eyes. Well, you know what? That might be true. Maybe you don't feel like you're enough in your parents' eyes, but it's kind of hard to read minds. I wouldn't worry about what your parents think about you or anyone else. Actually, the way I feel about it is what other people think of me is really none of my business. I just go hold my mud and handle my business the best way I know how and try to make $1 out of 15 cents. Even if I have to spread fertilizer, which I don't do that anymore, but I knew somebody that did that and for some money. I thought that was awfully creative, actually. I think it showed a lot of work ethic in that individual. They know who they are. Yeah. Ice Poseidon is a tool man. Disappointing you don't see that. What do you mean by a tool man? Go ahead. Explain. I like watching Ice Poseidon and his adventures across the planet. And when he was in East Hollywood, that was the best. Hanging around Little Armenia and all that stuff, getting in trouble with those guys, or wherever the hell he was. Dude, that was fucking funny. Chicken Andy used to be on YouTube. I think he's on Kick now. Chicken Andy and driving his RV across country. That guy has a good show. You should check him out on Kick. Chicken Andy. Billy John, One Sonic, Chicken Andy. Who else? Who else do I watch on YouTube? Trisha Licious in Nevada. She's a good conversationalist. You should check her out. I don't know whatever happened to Vegan Patriot. Is she around? I'm going to have to check her out, see if she's around. I like Adrielle on YouTube. Who else is on YouTube? McHenry Cruiser. Does anybody know who McHenry Cruiser is? Yeah, we can feel any way we want, Matty Barrow, about what's being told to us on television, on news, or something like that, or a newspaper. Oh, you think so? They Live. I look like the guy off They Live. What do you mean? The guy with the blonde hair? That guy? You mean that old 1980s movie? That's hilarious. I look like that motherfucker. I'm trying to keep this rated G. Sometimes I let the curse words fly. I don't know why. I've been stressing out. I'm a stress case. I got a lot of research to do. I got a lot of planning to do. Relocating. I'm on my Hewlett Packard laptop, checking everything out. No, I won't do that. No, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to hide you forever for saying that. I'm 19 years clean and sober. That's Rowdy Roddy Piper. Kick. Yeah, Jack. I think Chicken Andy is on Kick. Does anybody ever watch Nanobot Andy? She's a trip. She's gotten a lot better at live streaming. I wonder where. I'm going to have to check up some of these people. I know they're on the IP2 network. A lot of people have their own ideas about the IP2 network and stuff on Ice Poseidon network. He's very creative. They have their own ideas on that. I think they're okay. There's a guy up in Santa Rosa. What's his name? God, I forget his name. I'm gonna have to write these people's names down. Some of the people that I like from YouTube that I've been watching for quite some time. Bro, you have not been sober for 19 years. Seen you snorting lines with that cowboy a couple weeks ago. No, that's not true. That's false. You just lied about me. You're gone forever. Marco Island is beautiful. I live close to Aventura. Do you really? Wait. Aventura is also a neighborhood in Miami too, isn't it? Is there an Aventura near Marco Island? Maria Garcia? I have one child, and he's grown and paying taxes. Stephanie. Yeah, I do. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Got 81 people in here, 60 likes. You know what I really need? type in at Hollywoodland21. That's at Hollywoodland21, one word, and hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything at all. I don't think I'm ever going to charge anyone. This is a non-monetized channel. Right now it is. I'm not charging anything. I don't need your money. This is for fun. Well, it's for subscribers. What it really is for fun and getting to know people. And I need to build up my subscriber base. At Hollywoodland21. That is correct. See there? At link to trends. At Hollywoodland21. That's at Hollywoodland21. Thank you very much. You people are beautiful. Need you to subscribe and tell all of your friends at the workplace, at the tavern, if you drink, at the pool hall, at your mother-in-law's house, all your Facebook friends, all your ex-friends or Twitter friends, and all your ex-friends. You don't have to tell your ex-friends, but ex. I don't care if you're on Roblox, or I don't care if you go on OnlyFans or Patreon or YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or any of these social media platforms. When you go on those social media platforms, make sure that you let everybody know about at Hollywoodland21. That's at Hollywoodland21. This channel, I have a goal of 2,100 or 2,200, I'm not sure, somewhere around there, of subscribers right now in a very short amount of time. And I have a goal of 10,000 subscribers by September the 1st of 2026. That is only about 30 days from now. We need to get 10,000 subscribers. Do you think that'll work? A lot of people think that's too big of a goal, but we'll find out, won't we? I might decide to start streaming more often on the weekends. I might start earlier. I might get up at, go to bed early on Friday night and wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning and start streaming just for fun. I might use 3 different phones and use a whole bunch of different chargers, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll just stream all day on Saturdays and Sundays. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll start streaming at maybe 5 o'clock. I could start streaming as early as 5 o'clock. I wouldn't be able to interact that much because I'll be doing other things more, the first hour, but I could keep this going until about 11 o'clock and then just, until about maybe 10 o'clock and then cut it off. Because I have to be up in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I can no longer do that. There was a time when I was, in the last 6 months or 7 months or so, I was occasionally staying up until like 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning. I can't do that. It's unhealthy. I know very few people that can get away with that. Technically, he is an actor tonight anyway. I think he has potential to get where he wants, but needs to make the content better. Really? Going to make the content better? How would you propose that I do that? Everybody talks about that getting clean, sober stuff. It doesn't make me special just to say, I asked Jesus Christ to take away the cravings to do coke and weed and alcohol, and he did it just like that. That happened about 6.5 months after. 6.5 months after I decided to get sober. And now I have almost 19 years on August the 8th. We'll see. To make the content better, do you have any proposals, any ideas on how to make the content better? At Stephanie Love 4469. Thank you for subscribing at Jackson Ransom. You play instruments. I do not have a guitar in the house. I do play some songs on the guitar. I am not a fine artist. That's like painting, drawing, things like that. I don't really know if I could do that. I'm not really at a place where I can do gardening. I do know how to do gardening. Not really at a place where I can do that right now. I need a yard. That's one of the reasons we're going to the Midwest, because it's a lot less expensive than this area. Let's see. I could talk about geopolitics. Would you like to talk about that? I'm not going to talk about sports. I'm not going to talk about automobiles that much. I'm not like really into like, there's a lot of things that guys are into that for whatever reason, they're into sports, they're into cars and stuff like that I'm not into. There are some things, fighting, all these all these men that are into all of this boxing and mixed martial arts and karate and aikido and what's that other one called, Krav Maga. That's like, great, dude. What are you going to do with that stuff? Why didn't you join the military? If you really wanted to fuck somebody up, why didn't you join the military so you can actually use those skills? Do you know how many people, like think about it. You start watching this mixed martial arts. These guys get into it, and in about 6 weeks, they learn how to kick someone's head off, right? Do you know how dangerous that is? To do that all the time, even if you win. It's like, why would you want to do that? I would not try to do that for a living. That's something that's an unfortunate thing that happens. You know what? You know, you're at a bar, you're minding your own business. All the women are paying attention to you, and the other guys don't like it and stuff, and they want to kick your ass outside. Yeah, they want to whip your ass outside, stuff like that. You know what it's like. Or if you grew up in a place like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, like I did, or parts of New Jersey, or if you lived in Los Angeles for a long time, and occasionally, maybe you have a substance abuse problem, and you're around people that have weapons and they like to fight and street fights and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like an unfortunate thing that you have to solve. It's not something that I go out and seek, or I want to make a living doing by kickboxing and win the fight. It wouldn't even matter if I won like every fight. I'd still have I'd have all my trophies, and you'd get like you'd have a couple $100,000 in the bank, and guess what? You've been kicked in the head so many times that that your IQ goes down to about like 75. Why would you want to do that for a living? Isn't there something else you can do, like manage a Taco Bell or something? What do you guys think? I get into a lot of fights because of alcohol. I've done 20 years. It's a curse. It's like, yo, man, if you grew up in Philly or Baltimore or Boston or New York or Brooklyn and stuff like that, and you drink and you go down to your bar, those are your friends and stuff. You're probably not. But if you go to somebody else's bar, okay, and their bar fly talks to you, oh, there's going to be a fight. There's always a fight. Even your friends and you'll fight. It's like, don't go to those watering holes, is what my grandmother told me. So I stopped going to those watering holes, and I wasn't even looking to get in a conversation. You find yourself in situations. You know what you really find yourself having to street fight when you're, excuse me, like when you're like 35 years old and you're getting into these situations is when you're using illegal, like when you're using chemicals. You're using coke, or you're all methed up, or you're running around in the streets, partying, running and gunning in some big city. You're always going to end up getting in some kind of confrontation. And that one confrontation you get into might be the guy who was a kickboxer, but he washed out, but he still knows how to kill somebody with his bare hands, right? And you get in a fight with that guy. He's mad because you have a bunch of stuff he wants, right? And he's going to take it from you. You're going to either run away, or you're going to sit there and you're going to fight for it, right? And then you know what's going to happen to you? Even if you win the fight, you're going to lose like about 10 points of your IQ, you're going to get dumber just because you were around people that were losers like you doing drugs. Most normal people do not get into situations like that. If anything, they're bored, aren't they? Aren't you normal people, most of you? Do most of you people just like go, you wake up in a cell? It's like, dude, tough guys go to jail. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't want to go looking for trouble. Like in some big giant city like Philadelphia or LA or New York or something. You don't want to go looking for trouble, guy. There's people that actually go out of their way looking for trouble. I'm like, you stupid motherfucker, man. Why? Don't you want to live? Not bleats, not that hypocrisies. No. Not those kind of chemicals. You know. So I decided to stop using coke, weed, and alcohol. And I stopped going to bars. I stopped like running around in the streets of Los Angeles at 3 o'clock in the morning in places I definitely did not belong. Okay. I stopped doing all that crazy stuff. And you know what happened? My life changed somewhat. I developed what's called a platform for I might get a chance to live. It wasn't a guarantee I was going to live a long life or even another year. It was a platform. And then I had a bunch of health problems. And then I had these miraculous Persian doctors save my life. Yes, they did. They saved my life, and I got a second chance to live. And I decided I was going to be clean and sober, and I was going to see if I could live to be 103 years old. Looks like somebody's watching me. In the other room, I can hear them. The things, okay, I'm going to get to the stories, okay? I know you want to hear these stories, all these ridiculous, true Hollywood stories about what it's like to be running around using dangerous controlled substances and all that stuff before I got sober. Back in ancient times and late 80s, 90s and stuff like that, and plus beyond. And I'm not going to give you the years and stuff like that. The cool story is the getting sober part. The getting sober part, not the war stories. But if you want to hear war stories, you let me know. Come on, tell me. Yes, he does look familiar. You think I'm familiar? Where do you know me from? Do you know me from Cherry Hill, New Jersey? Do you know me from Lubbock, Texas? Do you know me from Fort Worth, Texas? Do you know me from Los Angeles, Hollywood, Long Beach, San Pedro, Van Nuys, North Hollywood? Where do you know me from? Philadelphia, Kensington? Where do you know me from? Yes, it is. It's an apartment. It's a rental. A commercial from Pepsi Cola. I can't stand Pepsi. It doesn't have any bubbles in it. Oh, you didn't say I know you. I'm saying you've seen me before. Okay. My bad. I apologize. Hello, at Julie Newman 99. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, honey. How are you doing, Julie Newman? How's your day going? It's okay if you know me from somewhere. I've lived a few. Oh, you might know me from the Seattle area. Lived there for 3 years. Yeah, I know the artificial sweeteners. Not Skid Row. That's not true. You can't know me from Skid Row because well, Have I ever walked through there? Well, I've been to the Union Station in downtown Los Angeles. That's close to Skid Row, but I'm not. I never lived down there. No, that Skid Row is actually a 50 square block part of Los Angeles that's mostly a wholesale district where there's warehouses and stuff, and they wholesale things out to the retailers. You can buy whole truckloads of stuff to sell at your store wherever. That's mostly where Skid Row is located. It's actually gotten bigger. It's everywhere. It's like looks like Skid Row now. There's so many unhoused people in Los Angeles, city of Los Angeles. It's really sad. They need federal assistance. Oh, we got people from the Scottish Highlands coming in here. At Garden NHS. Welcome in. Okay. You just called me a junkie and you're gone. You'll never come back here again because I'm not. I have 18 years and 11 and 11, I have 18 years and 11 months and three and a half weeks of sobriety time. And that's a fact. And I have people that can back it up too. A lot of people. Commercially inclined. Yeah, well, homeless is a made-up word from a professor up in Berkeley somewhere, and up in the San Francisco Bay. They just make that homeless where you hang your hat. I say houseless, unsheltered. The so-called homeless in California, they hit different. They're not like a typical person that's temporarily unhoused living in their car or something, and they get off the street and they find some housing or something. A lot of people that are like in places in the middle of the country, they might not have a place to live because somebody did them wrong. Somebody like actually hurt them. There's like women and children that are home. I can't believe it. What happens in these shelters, especially in California, is that women and children get housed, and elderly 65 and older. But out in LA, there's a bunch of younger guys out there running around, acting crazy, all messed up. And they really hit different. They aggressively harass women that are shopping in the grocery stores, and they go out, they harass them at their cars in the parking lot. They're trying to put their groceries in their car and all kinds of stuff. It's really bad. Like I said, the federal government is currently out in LA County, California, and they're in the middle of solving that big, giant problem that was allowed to get that way by Eric Garcetti, the former mayor of Los Angeles, and also Karen Bass, the current mayor of Los Angeles, that card-carrying communist. Men need shelters also, I'm sure. A lot of the apartments, well, I know, I'm not going to talk about it now, but there's a real reason why when you have 33 million undocumented people just come in your country or in your country, you're going to have a housing shortage for American citizens. In fact, you're going to have a housing shortage for the undocumented people too. You ever wonder why an apartment costs so much monthly? You ever wonder why a house costs $425,000 instead of like $250,000? There's a reason for that. What do you think? No politics tonight. Shepard Scapple, YouTube. Deborah Kelly, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Had a sudden snowstorm and then a heat wave. Really? A snowstorm and then a heat wave? Where are you? Are you in like Wyoming or Colorado or something? That can happen there. I'm going to Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, I personally wanted to live up in like Des Moines. It's one of the least expensive places to buy a house. And it's up north, but it's not so far north that you get into the extreme cold. Like I did look at the temperature map, the average temperature map. When you go north of, say, Des Moines or Omaha or places, and you go about 100 miles north of that, the climate changes. It starts getting really cold, not just really cold, but extremely cold in the winter. I mean, you start getting like these 5 month long periods where it's just cold. And I don't want to live in something like that, but I don't mind. I was just looking on the computer today, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, that area. And within about 100 miles of there, it's about what I would consider maybe the middle of November until, what would that be? I'd say the middle of November until the middle of March. What is that? 4 months of cold. With the coldest period, and I looked at the average temperatures for between like the 15th of November in Kansas City, Missouri, through the 15th of March. And I think that's is that 4 months? Something like that. But the coldest period is between like December the 15th and like the end of February. Like, it's like about 2.5 months where you don't want to be just running around walking outside. You're gonna want a truck with 4-wheel drive. You're not gonna want to just. It's going to keep you inside a lot. And I grew up. It's not as cold. If I lived in Philadelphia, we only had winter for about 3 months. It's about maybe 4 months of winter. Kansas City, that's not bad. They do have ice storms there. They have snowstorms there. I saw the annual precipitation. I was surprised that the annual rainfall / snowfall of some type of precipitation in Kansas City, Missouri was, I got to look it up again. I think it's something like, I don't know, like 32 inches or something, or 33 inches of precipitation. And I was like, wow, it's a little bit drier out there than I thought it was. It actually rains more in St. Louis. I did not know that. I found that out. I'll have to check. I think it's 33 or 34, something like that. Average annual precipitation in that area. Oh, you're in Kentucky? I've been through Kentucky. I've been to Lexington. Dimethyltryptamine. Housing gone to crap since 2008. I don't think migrants are affording homes when even we can't. Private equity is smart. Well, it's partially private equity, but it's also a lot of homeowners are renting their homes out to a lot of people. We do have a minimum. This is the minimum. This is Marco Rubio said this. A lot of people have said this. I could see it. I lived in LA and I see it out in the Midwest too. There is a minimum of 30 million undocumented people in our country. And it could be as high as around 45 million people. I don't think it's that high anymore. I think about 4%. I think like the criminal ones, like the ones that were out of the prisons in other countries and stuff, they've been removed. They've been removed, most of them, by the Homeland Security or something like that in the last year and a half. A lot of people that are undocumented living in the United States have left voluntarily. I don't know if you know that, but it's less than 5% of everybody that's here undocumented. I do not know if it is even possible to have all of the undocumented people leave our country, either leave by themselves or they're not vetted. We don't know who they are. Doesn't matter. They're not supposed to be here. And that's a fact. We debate about this all day. Well, I'm not going to debate with people about it. But as time goes on, I'm starting to think that Maybe there's another way to solve that problem. I don't know. Depends on what people in this country want to do. Do they want to fine everybody that's here? Say if we find out there's 30 million undocumented people in the country, does every person get fined a sizable fine, and then once they pay the fine, they can have a working permit and work their way up to a green card, and they can still reside in this country if they feel like it? Or do we have to keep on for the next 10 years until every single one of them's out, or something in between, or just the people that are committing felonies and have them removed and stuff like that? Most people that are undocumented in this country are not felons. They're just people that they're here for the dollar. They're here for the United States dollar. That's what they're here for. I can't determine whether or not they love this country. I don't know. Maybe they had they came over here, they're illegally in the country. They kind of like America. You don't really know. You can't read minds. I mean, I don't know. Do you know, Ms. Newman?
No.
Well, we lived in Van Nuys, California. We're around a lot of undocumented residents that are inside of the United States, right? I mean, a lot. Okay. And what did they do? They just work. They don't run around robbing anybody or doing anything. I mean, yeah, they broke the law and stuff, but I don't know. That's for all of us to decide what we're going to do about it, us American citizens. It's for us American citizens to decide what we are going to do about it. I do not know what to do about it. Shabbat Shalom. What country am I in? I am in the United States of America. And I have no idea how many people live here now. No idea. No idea whatsoever. It's hard to tell. I think there's 300. I think American citizens, I think there's 335 million. And I believe that there's at least 30 million undocumented aliens in the country. But I could be wrong. You never know. That's a lot of people taking up a lot of space. That's a lot of homes to build and apartment complexes to build. They're already throwing up these cheap places. You should see these did you guys ever see these apartment complexes they're throwing up everywhere? They're just like, dude, they're cheap. These little 2-story ones with the little breezeways, just throw them up everywhere. In the cities, they have the ones that are like mid-rise, the 5-story ones. They have them in Seattle, Austin, Charlotte. They all look the same. I think they're mostly the same developer. Those are for the professional younger people. Stuff like that in the cities. But I'm saying out in the suburbs, there's all kinds of just 2-story. They're either 2-story or they're 3-story. There's 3-story apartment buildings with breezeways with stairs that go up to the 3rd story, and they just throw them up all over the place. They're all over Texas. They're all over Georgia. They're all over the Carolinas. They're everywhere. I will. I'll get into some geopolitics at a later date. I will. I promise you, Jack Ransom. No. I don't have the time to tally up everyone. At Pruitzilla, yes, it does. Yes, there's multiple reasons. That's one of many reasons why a one-bedroom apartment should not cost like $1,700 unless you're at a beach or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's somewhere from what I've read about. It's somewhere between 30 million and 45 million undocumented people in the country. It's that high. I mean, where I used to live, I lived in North Carolina for 3 years now. When I was in Los Angeles, I lived in Los Angeles for almost 3 decades, and when you're there, the fact of the matter is that in the county of Los Angeles, which is about 10 million people approximately, there's like somewhere between 900,000 and a million undocumented residents in the county. You can call them illegal aliens. I choose not to call them that, but that's a fact. It's 1 out of every 10 people. I don't know if you knew that's the case, but that's the case. I think it's a little bit less than 10%. It's probably like 9%. It's a lot. There's a lot of undocumented aliens in California. And on top of that, there's not enough jobs for all of them. And there's not enough jobs for American adult citizens looking for work. They're out of work. There's just not. No, I'm not a big MAGA guy or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I see with my own eyes. No, I'm not trans. I don't do that. No, I'm not a MAGA guy. I just don't see how we can have this many people in the United States and have everything operating smoothly. I don't know. I don't get it. It's not less than 20 million. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. I don't think it's 45 million. I've heard reports that high. I personally think it's somewhere between 20 million and 30 million, somewhere in there. It may very well be only 20 million, but it's not less than 20 million. But there's a lot of people playing politics with numbers and stuff too, like that. And I'm not going to argue about it. Get back in a second. Don't touch that dial. Two minutes. That's what they want to talk about now. I mean, they're talking to people that have actually lived down there. It's not 20 million. More than that. if you think about it, isn't great kind of a vague term to use? Great. Again, great how? It's kind of a vague term, don't you think? Functional. I'd like this country to be not everywhere, but a lot of parts of the United States are not functioning properly. In my opinion, from at my age, from what I've seen, it's definitely not functioning like the 80s or the 90s, that's for sure. It's I think it's time for some more hot tea. But what does my opinion matter? I'm just one person. And I've decided there's A, there's B, and there's C. And I've decided to see myself out of the situation and get the frig out of the eastern seaboard and out of the South and go live in the Midwest. Kansas City is damn near in the Great Plains, isn't it? It really is. I want some wide open spaces. When I leave Kansas City and I go out into the different directions, I want to see nothing but cornfields everywhere. Perhaps people are overrated. What do you think? Does anyone think here that people are overrated? Well, do you think people are overrated? They may be. It's possible. Well, it's time to make myself something more to drink. You want me to play a musical instrument? Been a very busy day for me. And guess what? I'm not monetized. I'm not making a dime from YouTube. And in addition to that, I'm not making, I don't need your donation. When I get to 5,000 to 7,000 subscribers, then I'm going to monetize. I'll put all my Cash App and PayPal and Venmo information up either up here if YouTube allows me. Does anyone know if they allow you to put that up on the screen? Let me read the chat here and find out. I'm not sure. So I'm sure so many smart people, because you know how many smart people there are in the world. There's a lot of people that are much smarter than I am. A lot of people much more intelligent than I am. They think and think and think. Okay. Avani 4042. I'm very familiar with where St. Joseph's is. I looked at it on a map, and I know there's a problem up there. I just moved to New Mexico. Sagebrush and local officials support Breaking Bad situation. Really, I just left Kansas City, Missouri, and St. Joseph, where I own 3 properties that got neighborhood overrun by addicts. Really, thank you, Z. Cruddy. Yeah, there's those are people that are methed up are everywhere. Some people don't cause problems, but many of them do. The good thing about Kansas City is that their judicial system and their local law enforcement is doing something about the crime. The violent crime rate and the property crime rate has gone down considerably since 10 years ago. In Kansas City, much more so than St. Louis. That's why I decided on the Kansas City, Missouri metropolitan area over the St. Louis one. to relocate to. At Dakula1, thank you for coming in. It makes things a lot easier. Thank you. I appreciate everything you do for me at Dakula1. I really, really do. YouTube is changing. TikTok's changing even more. I don't like the way TikTok is changing. Venmo, PayPal, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to put my Venmo and my PayPal and my Cash App up on the screen while I'm live streaming. I do not know the answer to that question with YouTube. I know you can do that somewhat with on the TikTok platform. Paint the bottom of your cabinets to keep the bugs out. I love from Minnesota. I've been to Minneapolis. I had a good time. At Koi Ninho. Britt here. Don't know these places, but it's really interesting to listen, to learn, and see how we all have the same concerns. Yes, we do have the same concerns. People want there to be a safe place to live, and they want a job, and they want something to eat and some clean water to drink, and they want air conditioning. You know, the air conditioning that was invented by Mr. Carrier, right? And people would like to at least have a platform to live on where they can decide whether or not they want to pursue happiness or not. And that's a decision. You don't have to pursue happiness. I never did really understand that, pursuing happiness. I thought happiness was something that just happened. Happiness just happens. I've felt moments of joy in my life. A lot of people don't want people undocumented in this country. This country mostly does not want that. You haven't been to Scotland? No, but my forebears, some of them probably did live in Scotland. I heard. No, it was some of them, maybe a handful, but my ethnicity is German and English. About 40% each and 10% something else, and it's probably Scotch-Irish. There's a lot of Scotch-Irish. They're not Scottish, they're not Irish, they're just kind of, the Scotch-Irish, the people that they put on boats and took over here to the New World, and even the people in Philadelphia didn't like them, so they ran up into the Appalachian Mountains, and they lived up there. There's a lot of Scotch-Irish up there, and they mixed in with a bunch of Native Americans. I'm on my way to Missouri. I got that Hugh Grant thing going, really? And a little Irish. I did the biggest ethnic group in the United States is Irish, followed by German, and then after that is Mexican. And then after that is Italian. Mexican and Italian ethnicity is almost like this. And then, believe it or not, English, this was an English, these were English colonies. I think it's the percent of people in the United States that are of English ancestry mostly is actually a much lower percentage than I was aware of. We have a lot of people that came here that have French ancestry, and where mostly Maryland and Louisiana. I'd love to go. You're Korean? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you for the compliments. Oh, the cooling systems and shipping containers, vans, trucks, named Carrier. Oh, okay. A guy named Mr. Carrier invented the air conditioner. It's a small island. Oh, and you're Dutch, German, and French. My great granddad on my dad's side was Irish. My mom's side is completely English, which probably means Britain, French, Viking, Roman, and German Saxon. Yeah, I think one of my forebears that came over to this country came from Dusseldorf, Germany, and they went to central Pennsylvania for about a year, and that did not work for them because of allergies or something like that, and they decided to move on out to western Nebraska, over near the Colorado state line, and they were horse breeders. That's on my mother's side of the family. In the UK, the Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, is housing illegal migrants in massive homes paid for by people who cannot afford to live in the homes like that. That's why the UK has become a failed state. You know what? The UK, I do not believe is going to be a failed state. I believe it's going to get corrected. There's a lot of things that need to get corrected. Starmer going is a big plus as far as that's my personal opinion. I think that that things are going to get better in the UK. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a while. It might take a good 5 to 7 years before you start seeing some real changes for the better. I'm bored too, Sue. Irish Melungeon ancestry at Pig Daddy 95. What's Melungeon? Oh, Sue, you live near Dusseldorf? Catch you later, Mr. Randall. You too, at Walkie Talkie 1973. Thanks for coming in. Oh, by the way, if you want to subscribe to this channel where I don't make any money, it's just to hang out with you guys. Type in at Hollywoodland21. That's at Hollywoodland21. I don't charge for subscriptions at all. You can come in here anytime you want. You can talk about anything you want. Oh, I forgot the whole stream. It's almost 2 hours now. I forgot the whole stream. There's only a few subjects I do not allow in the chat, or you'll be blocked forever. And what are they? Does anyone know? Would anyone like to put them in the chat what you're not allowed to? Sashi from Dallas. I know about Dallas. I've been to Deep Ellum. I've been downtown. I've been in that discotheque called the Warehouse down there. I got relatives that live in Dallas. The Labour Party seems to hate the British people. They seem to want to wipe out British people. I have never seen Britain in such a bad state of affairs. Neither have I. Neither has our president, whether you like him or not. Neither has a lot of the world. Has not seen the UK in the condition that it's in now, and it concerns me. It concerns me quite a bit. That's a topic for another day, because I'm about to wind this down, but we can talk about that topic. In the at Red Dos Gonford 2750. Come back in here on another day, like on a Thursday or a Friday. We can talk about that some more. Sal sold seashells with 2 underscores. I appreciate your commitment to YouTube. Thank you very much. I think YouTube is more me, and I might start a Kick channel also. I may, if TikTok can get it together. If I see TikTok straightening some things out, I will go back over to TikTok just to check it out and go live stream over there. Not now. Maybe in 4 or 5 months or something. I don't know. Maybe 3 months. Who knows? We'll see. I haven't made my mind up on that. I got my mind on French Native American Lakota Sioux. I got 360 acres and in 1/2 breed tract by Indian Cave State Park in southeast Nebraska near St. Joseph, Missouri during Louisiana purchased from the French. Really? At Ava Vani, 4042. That is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. German and Norwegian and Irish. Lisa Kerr. At Lisa Kerr, 6392. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. At Lisa Kerr 6392 is a big supporter of my channel. I was over there at your channel. Over on I think it wasn't also over at TikTok too. I was over there. It's time for some hot tea. I think in my lifetime that Europe is going to a lot of continental. Well, Europe is continental. I don't consider the United Kingdom Europe. That's the British Isles. Everything else is Europe, right? I think that that Europe's going to get things straightened out in my lifetime. If I live to be 90 or something. You're from Sacramento, California, and I have a political and MMA channel. Oh, you have an MMA channel. We were talking about MMA earlier and how really good of a fighter you have to be to survive in MMA. This hair is getting way too long. Glad you ran across careers. Thank you at K Harry Abul -KHEER 8594. Like saying Japan is Asian. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Asia. Is Japan really Asian? They are their own island. They do their own thing. They kind of are all Japanese there. They're not, I mean, I guess you can move there, but it's mostly like 99% Japanese, right? Is it Asia? I don't know. Maybe we should look into that sometime. I never considered the United Kingdom or England or Great Britain or anything. I never considered that Europe. It's a couple of big islands and some little ones too. And on one of those islands, in a little cabin, was a guy that wrote a book called 1984. It's one of those islands way up there where it rains all the time. It's a big giant island. There's a big lake way up in Scotland somewhere with some dinosaur, like some plesiosaur, like floating around in there. Is that real? Is there like a dinosaur that goes in the water there? Like, what's up with that? Yeah, a lot of people do like martial arts, don't they? My brother is a Krav Maga expert. It's some kind of Israeli jiu-jitsu. The Loch Ness, yes, at Mark, yes. The Loch Ness Monster. No, I'm not 65. I'm nowhere near 65. 1920s, Great Depression at Advani, 40, 42. 1920s, Great Depression, Federal Reserve Bank Dust Bowl. European Bank took over America. It's possible. It's possible. There's some big changes. This guy has a face for the camera. Do you think so? You think I have a face for the camera? Which camera? A motion picture camera? A Kodak camera that you have in your closet that you take pictures with, like this. The camera on a smartphone. A video camera. A Super 8 camera. What camera are we talking about? Maybe one day I'll tell you some stories that my stepdad told me about how he handled a situation at the, what's that called? That ranch that Charlie Manson and his followers were on. I got a story I'm going to tell you guys, but not today, but I will tell you that story. That story, yeah. It's a good story. I'm not 66. I'm nowhere near that. I never really thought about it. I don't know. Maybe our president is into the UFC. I don't know. I don't really watch them fight all the time. I'm not really into that. I'm not really. When I was younger, I used to watch boxing and stuff like that. I don't do that much anymore. Yeah, Sharon Thompson says the 1920. That is correct. Thank you for correcting. 1929 stock market crash, and then the dirty 30s were the Depression. I know my grandparents lived through the Depression in Texas and Louisiana. Yeah, a lot of people from Oklahoma and Kansas and Arkansas and Missouri went out to California and became farmers in Central California. A lot of Okies. Really, I don't know. 22 miles long and 230 meters deep. That's like really, really deep. That's like an ocean deep, the Loch Ness. That's like part of the ocean or something. There could be anything down there. There could be anything down there. Barbie Joe, 55, looking forward to hearing my stories. Yeah, I'm about to cut it off right now. It holds, Mark says that at Mark-NZ says it holds the biggest body of water in the UK. Is it fresh water? Well, you've already heard my stories about selling high-end ladies' shoes and handbags and accessories and getting all those phone numbers I used to get. And how grateful I am for Motel 6 always leaving the light on for myself and my friends. That's plural. 42. I'm older than 42. I'm older than 45, but thank you for the compliment. Pavel Volchek. Hey man, hi Chad. How are you doing? Welcome in. We're talking about everything today on at Hollywoodland21. Well, I told, maybe some of you new people don't know. The only reason I call my channel at Hollywoodland21 is because I actually did live in that neighborhood called Hollywoodland that they built in the 1920s in Los Angeles, California, in the city of Los Angeles. It was up in the Hollywood Hills. and they advertised it. They put a big sign up there that was really junky with a bunch of light bulbs on it and stuff, and they called it Hollywoodland. It's an actual neighborhood all the way up Beechwood Canyon up top, and it's not all mansions. Some of them are just cottages and stuff up there, and there's deer all over the place and bobcats and lynx and mountain lions up there. It's nuts, man, and coyotes and stuff. And I lived up there in Hollywoodland. That neighborhood has a little gateway. You just walk through it. And I lived in a guest house behind a big house there. And I could go out of the guest house. I could look in the backyard and just look up. And the Hollywood sign was like right up there. It was pretty awesome. Well, what happened is it used to say Hollywoodland, the sign. That was for advertisement purposes. But what happened is the LAN fell off. It wasn't really good. It didn't stick in the ground right. And we took all those light bulbs off of it. And the city of Los Angeles acquired the Hollywood sign, and they maintained it. And I think some guys in the late 70s and early 80s that were in like rock and roll bands and stuff, I think Alice Cooper contributed some money to refurbishing the Hollywood sign. It's not lit up by anything other than the moonlight and by just the lights of the city. There's no lights that I know of that are shining on the sign. You can see it when you're coming through town from east to west, and you're going northwest in a northwesterly direction away from downtown, and you're going up into the northern part of Los Angeles into the San Fernando Valley. If you look on your right, you can see a big giant Christian cross on the side, and you can also see the Hollywood sign. And you can see it even at night. There's a lot of lights in that town. It's a pretty big city. I think it's like 4 million people in that city. I lived out there for about 3 decades, almost 3 decades. It was a long time I lived out there. Sure did used to be different. I'll hardly wait till I can fix this hair. Happy to help. Thank you, Admark. It's fresh water, sir. Thank you very much. I always wanted to know that. It's fresh water, but it's as deep like an ocean. I said, wow, it's like a crevice or something like that. I look like an LA guy. I grew up in Philadelphia and also Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and also in the panhandle of Texas in the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade. So I lived in Lubbock, Texas, Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And then I went out to Los Angeles, and then I went up to Seattle for like 3 years, like in the late 90s. And then I came back down to Los Angeles. And now I'm in North Carolina. And now I'm relocating again. But that was a long time I was out there, 30 years. I spent a lot of time out on the West Coast. I think that part of my life is over. It was fun. It was better before. It didn't have all these problems it's having now. I think it'll get fixed up. I'm kind of depressed. Had to go score in Chicago today. Oh my God. I actually like Chicago. I had a layover on an airplane at that old Midway airport when they used to have Braniff Airlines a long time ago and Midway Airlines. I stopped at the Midway airport. I had a 9-hour layover. No, a 6-hour layover. So I just walked outside the airport and I walked around the corner. I got myself a kielbasa sandwich at a restaurant down the street, hung around there near Cicero Avenue or something like that. It smelled bad around there, but it was kind of a beach you have there in Lake Michigan too. I came through there one time. I kind of like Chicago. At Barbie Joe 55, every time I get on your channel, you hold my attention with the interesting things you talk about. Well, I'm glad that you find me interesting. If you're an actor, God will give you blessings and peace. Really? But I'm not an actor. Janice Darsley, 191379 says, you have nice eyes. Thank you very much. for the compliment. Thank you. What's up? What's up? At Family Wegner. Welcome in. Pavel Volchek. There's a good book that talks about the history of Hollywood in depth. Is there? I'm going to have to look into it more in depth. I had some people in the neighborhood actually explain it to me. There's some people that live up there that they inherit it from their parents, and their parents inherited it from the grandparents bought it, and then they inherited it from their parents and live up there. And now they're getting old and they're. Oh, did German in Venice? I like him. He has a good. Is he on TikTok or YouTube? Yeah, he's on YouTube. German in Venice. That's a good YouTube channel to watch. You guys should check him out. He used to do henna tattoos, but he got really good. He really shows you everything around LA. We talked to Hollywoodland. Lakota Sioux, French breed track. See, you can see a lot of stars. I remember when I used to live out in West Texas, you could see a lot of stars. Outside of Lubbock, out in the desert and stuff like that, you can see a lot of stars. I'm sure that out there in the Great Plains, up there, you can see a lot of stars out there too. I've lived near beaches for quite a while, and I don't really need to live near a beach. If I do, what we decided to do is if we want to go down to a beach or something like that, from Kansas City, the closest beaches are in Texas. Actually, I would go down to Corpus Christi or something like that to go to a beach. 54 people. Oh, wow, that's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people that think I look like Kurt Russell, aren't there? I'm still a kid at heart, too. I get confused sometimes. I get confused by some people. Evolve Hector, you have beautiful eyes, sir. Thank you. Where do you like it the most? I really used to like Southern California, but I don't like it that much anymore. I like the Central Coast of California, but the place I like the most is the place that makes me feel the most comfortable is because the middle of the country, like the Great Plains, reminds me of when I was a child. When I was between the 5th and the 9th grade, and it had all kinds of open land for miles and miles and miles. It kind of comforts me. I don't know why. It just does. It just does. Yeah, 1 hour and 59 minutes and 58 seconds. We are at the 2-hour mark right now. Thank you all for coming into at Hollywoodland21. I really do appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. Please type in at Hollywoodland21, and press the subscribe button. This is a free channel. I don't get paid. Not now. When I get 5,000 to 7,000 subscribers, then I'm going to hit the green light. And I'll put all my information up here. I don't really need any money from you guys. No, but I want to get a dog. I would like to get a dog, yes. It's Timu Russell. I shall be back in just a second. At Hollywoodland21, that is correct. Look, see what at MG-HZ7LI said. He said, he or she, I'm not sure if it was a woman or a man, typed in at Hollywoodland21. That is exactly how you subscribe to my channel. And you people are beautiful. I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I'll tell you the truth. I'm just happy I woke up this morning. I really am. I have to keep on going, even if I'm disappointed. Sometimes when you're cruising through life, people will fail you or they'll disappoint you. Not always fail you, but they'll disappoint you. But Jesus will never fail you, and Jesus will never disappoint either. I'll disappoint you sometimes. I make mistakes all the time. Have a good night and a wonderful Sunday. Much love coming from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. That's a wonderful place. I am here at Hollywoodland22 is my handle. Please subscribe. I am here Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 6 p.m. until whenever. It might be a lot of more whenever. It might be, I might start streaming a lot more often. I've got to get my subscriptions up. I need you guys' help. I really do. Could everybody here please subscribe to at Hollywoodland22? Let's get me up. Let's get me up to like 5,000 subscribers in the next couple of weeks. I know we can do it. I'm almost tempted to. I really want to wait. I really want to wait until I have like 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers to monetize this channel to make it worth my while. I think I might really turn on the juice to get these subscriptions done in August. I might be live streaming more often than I usually do. I really do try to keep it rated G, but then the F word flies out of my mouth, and then it shouldn't. My grandmother would be very, very upset with me if she was still alive and she heard me say the F word. No, I'm not 65. I'm nowhere near 65. Aaron Roderick. Hi, Randall. How are you doing? Do you do coke in Thailand? No, I don't go to Thailand. I would never go to Thailand. That's weird. Those guys are weird, I think, to go there. But that's my opinion. What do I know? No, I'm not an actor. I was a salesman. Direct sales. Vinyl siding. Yes, I do have children. I have one child, and he is grown and paying taxes. You look like Superman, bro. Yo, I met Christopher Reeves in San Pedro, California when he was filming after he had his accident and stuff like that. I met him. Yeah. He was a really nice man. Robert Olson, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, well, this has been a very interesting month for me. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Yeah, he really did. I'm glad. I miss him. He was a really kind man. I talked to him. He was very, very intelligent too. I met a lot of people. I met people that got me wasted when I used to drink. In the Frolic Room. That's a bar in Hollywood called the Frolic Room. One's called the Powerhouse. That's on Highland. Does anybody know about these places? These are places where you go in to see everybody. Chicken hawks, celebrities, homeless people, all different kinds of people. They all go in there. Construction workers, all different kinds of people go in the Frolic Room. And they are there to drink. I miss the old school people that kept the violence away. What's happening now is that actually, even though we had a higher crime rate in the United States in the late 1980s and through the 90s than we do now, there's a lot of violent things, crimes being committed in smaller towns and smaller cities now and out in the suburbs that a lot of Americans they were caught off guard. They weren't used to that. I know some of the reasons why that's going on, but we're not going to talk about that here. No, I did live in Hollywoodland. I lived up in Upper Beechwood Canyon back in like 1989. Yeah, long time ago. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina area now. I'm about to move to Missouri. Yeah, Yeah, I actually lived up in Hollywoodland. I rented out a guest house for like $450 from a family and lived back there when I was really young. I was like 19. That's why I call it. Yeah, I went down to Topanga Canyon. Went all the way down there to Will Rogers Beach. I've driven down there. I've driven all around up in there. All those canyons, Laurel Canyon, Topanga Canyon. I know Woodland Hills really well. No, I'm not an artist. I'm a salesman. I can play some guitar. I don't have a guitar with me. I'm not a fine artist. I don't paint or anything like that. I might want to try painting. You never know. Maybe I can paint something. I don't know. That'd be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? Missouri. I heard that the Kansas City area is actually growing somewhat. I mean, it's not growing out of control, but it's growing. People are moving back to two Midwestern states. One is Missouri, and the younger people too, because of the job growth, and Ohio. Those two. You might want to check into it. It depends on what you do for a living. Buddy Holly, welcome. Well, it's about time for me to go. Thank you for subscribing to at Hollywoodland21. It's been real fun. You guys are beautiful. You know that? I'll be back in just a little bit. Who's making all that noise in here? I had just about enough of those two. And soon I'll have to call the authorities. Now, this is what I look like. Now, here's what I look like that. Think of that. Hey, who's making all that noise in there? What's up with Miss Newman? What are you doing?
I'm watching a movie.
Who do you think you are?
Watching a movie.
Who do you think you are? You think you're special? Are you special? I may have met someone that has a split personality. I mean that actually disassociates. Somebody that has two different personalities. I wonder who that is. Is there anybody here who you've ever met something like that? What is this mess around here? I wonder who's still here watching. Is anybody still here? What kind of mess is that? What do we got here? Well, wonder who this is. Yes, I decided I'd hang out a little bit longer with you people. Show you. You tell me what you think. What my hair would look like if it was short. Well, it's wet now, but got hairspray all over it and everything like that. I just decided to. What if I had short hair like this? I don't. But what if I did? What do you think? Do I look older? Do I look younger? Does it matter? What really does matter? Telling the truth matters, doesn't it? Not being disingenuous matters. There's a lot of those people. American movies and movie stars of Beverly Hills. You know, Beverly Hills is getting rated right now. Did you know that? It is. Yeah, I don't know who they're looking for. Whatever makes you feel good. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get it this short. We might. Looking comfortable and confident in yourself matters. Actually, I do have a lot of self-confidence. Some people have out of control, enormous egos. Have you ever met anyone like that? Just wondering. Some people don't know how to read a room either. Some people listen to other people and believe everything they're going to say to them. You know what I found out? I found out that somebody's bad-mouthing me. Yeah. I wonder who it is. You know, lying is always wrong, right? Yeah, actually, what happened is I discovered that somebody that knew me from a long time ago is a long time ago. Well, I'm not going to tell you it's the 90s or the early 2000s or something like that, but somebody that knows me from a while ago. Okay. Like say like 20 years ago or something, 20 to 30 years ago. That's a woman that's still alive. Found out that I was on your live streaming, and she's been saying some things about me that were not very kind. And bouncing around and seeing who I watch and who I don't watch on this and other platforms. I guess that's just the way it goes. Social media, right? Have you ever had anybody that was so crazy that 25 years after you broke up with them, because they're mad, that they would talk bad about you on social media 25 years later and try to get up in your life and your business? Well, I don't give a fuck what she says because it's not true. I'm just saying that this is like, what is it, 2026? This is 21 years ago. 21 years ago. "21 years ago, and the woman has something to say about me." She probably would have never said anything about me if she never saw me on YouTube. Isn't that kind of weird? It's like, come on, it's 21 years ago. I just found it to be a little bit odd. That's the downside. Constance Stripling 8816 says, "Oh my God, that's the downside of social media. Tears an othetic person stuck in the boast. Jealousy? Jealousy about what? It's a woman that I don't date her anymore. It's from a long time ago. Virtue and temperance, I think, are important. I think so too." At Pavel Volchek. I guess if you start a YouTube channel, I guess eventually, if you live stream, I've talked about other live streamers like this, women and men. Mostly a lot of women have this problem. Like other women don't like them or something like that, give them a hard time. But I'm a man and I'm a live streamer and I'm just doing this for fun. And I'm just curious as to why somebody that I haven't even seen in 21 years even cares whether or not I do this or not. You'd think that people would let bygones be bygones, right? 21 years is sad. Isn't it sad? It's sad. There's nothing I can do about it. I wish her all the best. I mean, it was 21 years ago. I mean, there's a time that we got along really well and stuff like that, but it was 21 years ago. And by the way, if you're watching right now, and you're the woman I'm talking about that's got a problem with me still 21 years later, I really pray that you don't have a problem. I'm hearing from other people that know us that you have a problem. Maybe they're lying. I pray that you don't have a problem because I have no problem with you. I really don't. I mean, it was 21 years ago, right? I'm into other things now. I'm into other things, yeah. I definitely am. What's that place I'm moving to? Well, Missouri is a big state, isn't it? A lot of people in it. Azalt 4. I would I would have to probably say that you were more impactful on her life than you thought. Some people make a deep impression. It's possible. I mean, this was like a 3 year relationship, something like that. That it just turned into, oh my God. I don't really think I'm that special. I just don't. I'm just a man. I make mistakes, you know. Sometimes I make big mistakes. Sometimes I misread people. I don't assume anything, you know. I just don't assume. When I don't have all the facts and stuff, I can't say anything. If I'm not armed with the facts, I mean, I'm blind. I don't know what's going on. That's like 21 years ago. I haven't seen this woman. 21 years ago is a long time ago. You know, I don't know. A lot of things happen in 21 years, you know. Don't you think? Does she have a legitimate reason to have a grudge? No, not at all. Constance Stripling says, well, you were horrible to her. Does she have a legitimate? No, I wasn't. I was not horrible to her at all. And I won't tell you how it all went down, because it can get worse. It could. So it was 21 years ago, and I'm just glad I just woke up in the morning. You know what I mean? I got a lot of things I got to take care of in my life. I wish I was a better man. You know, I really do. I'll tell you one thing is that money never bought me happiness. Happiness was something that just kind of happened to me, if it ever did happen, even for a brief time. Happiness has always seemed to mostly get away from me. Only brief moments of joy and happiness for a while. Sometimes bliss. I mean well. I'm one of these men that means well. I mean well. I fucking really do. I really do mean well, you know. But meaning well doesn't always get you somewhere, does it? Yeah, money can make things easier. But yeah, many people with money seem to be the least happy people. Melissa McCurrick, hi, how are you doing? Welcome in again. And I've met some people that money makes them very happy. Money never made me happy. Life is short and fragile. I try not to waste it. Every single hour I'm up, I don't want to waste time. I love coming in here. I think it's fun. I have no idea who's watching me. I don't really know who's watching me. There could be, you people for real. But, you know, I don't know. There could be people watching me that know me. There could be people that just aren't saying anything. There could be people that are other live streamers on this platform or another platform that could or could not be watching me. I have absolutely no idea. I had another live streamer remind me about a month and a half ago. I think it was about a month and a half ago that something along the lines of be careful of every single thing that you say. that when you're live streaming that people are watching everything. Just assume it. About a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, this live streamer told me that, reminded me of that. And I'm very thankful that they reminded me of that. Just finding my peace. That's right. That's what I'm doing, Melissa McCray. That's the creep at Cloudy Sunflower Field. That's the creepy part about this live streaming. I've thought about trying it, but you never know who's watching. Yeah, you never know who's watching. And then once you're live streaming, people see you live streaming. Some people troll and some people don't or whatever like that. But it can get worse. And then there's some people that know you for real in real life. And they know you and maybe you had like a bad relationship with them like 20 years ago or 10 years ago or even just 5 years ago or something like that. And they go and they tell everybody, oh, that guy's an asshole. He's a liar. He's a player. He's that. And they just keep, and sometimes their constant lying works. Yeah, it does. I'm not a player. I'm just a man. I'm only human. I don't judge people. I do not pass judgment on people. I don't pass judgment on people that use like chemicals and stuff, you know. Who am I to judge? I would never judge somebody. I mean, as much as I used to party a long time ago, I have 19 years clean time, but I used to party. I'm not going to judge anyone. Who am I to judge? Jesus is going to judge me, huh? So I'm going to get judged one day. I better keep my opinions to myself and all that stuff. Playing nice goes a long way. You stream a couple of times a day. Food and nature, that's cool. Amber Whiskey, good evening. It's nice to see the voice that lives in my ears as I work in my studio. Thank you for that compliment. Creepers. There's some creeps on here too, like people that are just. You sowing seeds. You kind of remind me of the overseer, former pastor of Times Square Church, Carter Colon. I wonder where that is. My name is Randall, and this is what my hair would look like if it's short. It's actually not short. It's actually very long. But I decided to just see what it would look like if it was short. What do we got here? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Well, I might come back later on tonight. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm going to rest a little bit. I might go see if there's some other live streamers that I watch. Chit chat with them for a little while. There's some pretty interesting channels out there. Randall at Hollywoodland21 is my handle. At Hollywoodland21. Please subscribe. This is it costs nothing to subscribe, and this is a non-monetized channel at this point. I'm waiting until I get somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 subscribers before I decide to monetize the channel and make it worth my while. I'm glad that everybody came in this evening. I might come on later tonight. Yeah, spirituality. That's what's most important for me. You guys have a good evening. I've never been in a film. And just remember that sometimes people will fail you, but Jesus Christ will never fail you. I love you guys. thank you very much for coming on. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. or possibly later on tonight.